Hi guys, I welcome you to my first bass tutorial for beginners, and in this tutorial I'll be teaching you step by step on everything you need to know to become a bass player, a very good bass player, a professional bass player. And all I need you to do for me is that make sure while watching this you have your notes, you have your pen, and then you also have your bass with you, okay? Because though I'll be doing more of practical, but still you need to have a note and a pen because I'll be telling you some certain things that you might actually need to write down. And also make sure you do well to subscribe to my channel and share this video around across the social media so that more people can gain from this bass lesson, and then everyone can learn together. So in this tutorial I'll be teaching you, if this is your very first time of handling a bass, you do not need to worry. I'll be teaching you step by step on what you need to know to become a professional bass player. So you don't need to worry. I get you covered, and let's move into it.
You lead, always for the one. Can we turn up? Can we turn up?
Okay, so guys, now we are into it. Let's get started. So the first thing I'll be teaching you is the part of your bass. Okay, definitely you need to know the part of your bass first. Okay, so I'll be telling you what you need to know. The part of your bass and things you need to know and what they work for. Okay, so I'll be explaining them one by one. All right, so the first thing I will make mention of is the tuning peg. Okay, so this is your tuning peg. All right, this you're seeing is your tuning peg. Okay, what's the tuning peg used for? It's basically used for tuning your strings. Okay, tuning your strings to the right note. Okay, so if you want to tune your strings, this is what you use. This one I'm showing you here is what you use to tune your guitar, your strings. Okay, so it's called the tuning peg. So the next one is the notes. All right, so this, I'm sure you can see this black thing here. All right, where the string is actually lying on before getting to the tuning peg. Where the string is lying on here is called the knot. Okay, this black plastic thing you're seeing here is called your knot. Okay, so all right, so the next thing is your fret. Okay, so what's your fret? Your fret is this straight thing you're seeing here, this straight thing, this 1 1 1 1 thing you're seeing here, that's your fret. Okay, so if I want to play, I play on my fret, I play on my fret. All right, so that's your fret. This line, this straight thing you're seeing is your fret. All right, so we also have the fret markers. So what's your fret marker? Your fret marker is actually these dots you're seeing, this dot you're seeing. And what's your fret used for? Is used to basically make you identify your notes and while playing. So your fret marker actually allows you, definitely I'll be explaining some things later on, but your fret marker allows you to identify your note. Okay, on this key I have the key of C, but for me it's a B flat, basically because I actually tuned my guitar two note backwards to personal reasons though. So let's move straight into the next thing. So we have the strap button. Okay, before we move to the strap button, we have the fretboard. Okay, so what's the fretboard? The fretboard is this long wood, is the board, is the main board itself. That's the fretboard. Okay, so this board, this black wood is your fretboard. The black wood is your fretboard. The long black wood is your fretboard. And also we have the strap button. Your strap button is where you hang your strap to hold your bass. Okay, so this is my own strap button where I actually hang my belt to hold my bass firmly. Okay. All right. So we have the strings. So these are the strings. Okay. These are the strings. These are the strings. Okay. These you're seeing are the strings. We also have the pickups. All right. So these are the pickups. All right. This two black thing you're seeing here is the pickup. Sorry, it's the pickup. These two things you're seeing here is the pickup. And what's that used for? That is basically used to send sound to your speaker, to your output device. Okay, it sounds like a microphone that sends what you play on your bass down to your speaker. All right, so that's the work of a pickup. So the next thing is we have the bridge. Okay, this is the bridge here. What I'm touching here is the bridge. This thing here is the bridge. So what was the work of the bridge? Okay, so the bridge is where you actually hook your string before you get it down to the tuning peg. So you hook your string just like you can see here. I don't know if you can see this. So you hook your string here. Maybe I'll be making a video on how you can actually hook or tune your bass later. So this is where you hook your string, and before it gets to the tuning peg. So that's what we call the bridge. That's the bridge. All right. So in the bridge we have something called saddles. Okay. So there's something. If you notice, there's something at the bridge here that the string is actually lying on. Okay. There's something on the bridge here that the string is lying on. It's called the saddles. All right. So that's it. And the next thing is we have the knobs. Okay, so these are the knobs. All right, so this is an LTD bass, and these are the knobs. Okay, we have the volume knob, we have the bass knob, we have the mid, we have the high mid here. All right, so I have 5 knobs basically as for me. And lastly we have the pickup knob that separates the pickup. Basically, if I want to use this pickup alone, then I actually turn it clockwise, and it's going to give me a certain tone. And if I turn it anti-clockwise, that means I want to use just this knob. Okay, you see it's kind of lighter. All right, it's kind of lighter. And if I want to use the boot, I will actually switch it to like 12 p.m. You understand that? Just switch it to the middle. That's what I mean by 12. So you can see the sound is also different. All right, so that's it to that. So but it is not every bass that has this pickup selection thing, you understand? So it depends on the kind of bass you use. It is not every bass that has. And also we have 2 types of bass. We have the active and we have the passive bass. Okay, so quickly, I'm not going to be doing too much on theory. All right, so I'll just explain what active and passive bass means. So active bass are bass that allows electrons. All right, while passive bass are bass that does not allow electrons. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that your active bass uses battery while your passive bass does not use battery. So what's the difference between an active and passive bass? Well, the volume of active bass is quite louder than a passive bass. All right, and also the tone is kind of better and sweeter than passive bass. But you don't need to worry. As a beginner, you can start with a passive bass to get started. Okay, so the more you grow, the more you know what you need to yourself. All right, so starting with a passive bass is not an issue, so you don't need to start with a big bass to get started. All right, so you can get a passive bass to get started. All right, so we also have the jack. All right, so what's the jack? The jack is actually the space where your jack plug will enter. All right, this place, that's your jack. Okay, so this is what sends this is what connects to your bass and send sound um to your speaker. All right, it sends sound to your, sorry, sends it to your amplifier, and then the amplifier sends it to your speaker. So that's it. We also have different kind of structure of bass. All right, so we have the 4 strings, we have the 5 strings, and we have the 6 strings. Okay, so I'll be explaining what this means to you. All right, so the 4 strings, we have majorly this. All right, so I'm using a 6 strings bass though. So, and you as a beginner, I would advise you to get started with a 4 string bass. Why? Because while playing, it makes you go simple, and also while playing, you will be able to, you won't feel too lazy. You won't feel too lazy while playing. You'll be able to express yourself from, up down, up down, up down. You'll be expressive. You get it, right? So I advise you, if you have 5 bass, 6 bass, you can actually use them. I only advise, if you want to get started, you can buy a 4 string bass. So there are ways to tune this bass. All right, there's actually a professional way to tune bass. So for 4 strings, we actually have EADG, and for 5 strings, we have BEADG. All right, so for example, let's say it's a 4 string, so that means your first open string, which this will be your first string on your 4 strings. Your first open string will be he. All right, so the next one will be he, the next open string will be D, and the next open string will be G. All right, so for 5 strings, that means you'll be starting from the top A, from the last string A. All right, which will be B, E, A, D, G. All right, I will still explain this and express this more better. So for these 6 strings now, we have B, E, A, D, G, C. All right, so that's a professional way of, you know, tuning your bass. All right, so that's a professional way of tuning your bass. And as for me, I actually tune my bass, like I said the other time. I actually tuned my bass 2 notes backward. So basically, if you tune the bass the normal way you should, if you have your own C here, my own C is my own B flat. Okay, so this is my own C. So you might not understand this yet as a beginner. You understand, but just don't get confused. All right. Okay, so I will be teaching you how you can apply your fingers. How you can apply your fingers. Okay. So how to place your fingers and how to use them. All right. So basically, we know that we have the thumb, the index, the middle, the ring, and the pinky. The thumb, the index, the middle, and the ring, and the pinky. All right, same as this: the thumb, the index, the middle, the ring, and the pinky. All right, so if you are a right-handed person, then your left hand will be on your fretboard. All right, so this is how you place your hand. Your thumb at the back, let me show you. Your thumb at the back is being placed like this. All right, it's going to be straight like this, as you can see. Okay, all right, so, and the other 4 fingers will be on your bass like this. Do you get that? And this other right finger, all right, so you use these two fingers to pluck. And how do you pluck? This is how you pluck. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Do you get it? So these two fingers, that's, as a beginner, gets, some people actually use more than two fingers, but as a beginner, it's advised that you start with two fingers to start plucking. Okay, so how do you place your fingers while playing? You can actually place your finger, your thumb, on the pickup or your last string here, which is the fattest string. Okay, and then play like, do you get it? So 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Right, so that's how you pluck. 1 2 1 2 1 2, just like, sorry. So I hope you get that. All right, so make sure there's actually techniques on how you need to place your bass, while playing, while sitting and why. So while playing your bass, make sure that your bass, this end here, is facing like this. Okay, why? Because so that you can be able to play around the neck, you can be able to play, because if you're playing like this, it will not actually work, because you'll be struggling to undo some notes. So you have to place it something like this. You get it? So all right, so to the next thing now, I'm actually going to explain a little thing, a little bit of thing, and you have to write this down and you have to jot down. So there's something we call a chromatic scale. All right, so we know that we have 12 notes majorly in music. All right, we have 12 notes majorly in music. So we have the A sharp, B, C sharp, then we have the D sharp, we have the E, we have the F sharp, and also we have the G sharp. All right, so how do you identify your sharp in music? All right, so A, okay, for example, so let me explain better to you. All right, so this is my A. As for me, all right, but for you, your A will be an open string. All right, so if you tune it the professional way, there are different ways you can tune your bass though. You can tune your bass by buying a tuner. All right, and you might not go too expensive, but if you're a professional bass player, then you need a tuner. You need to buy a tuner, and a tuner is something like it's small stuff like you hook down here. It works down, like it works with vibration of your guitar. Okay, so that you won't be playing a wrong note when you have a gig. All right, so but if, since you're a beginner, you can start with an app. There are different kind of mobile app. You can check your app store. You can download bass tuner or some tuners that can help you tune your bass rightly, and you can start playing. Okay, so as a beginner, I don't advise you to use your keyboard to tune your bass, to use your hair. It's advisable that you use a tuner, so you can download the app. I don't think that should spend you a whole lot. That should only spend you your data, and that's cool. All right, so like I was saying, we have the chromatic scale. What's the chromatic scale? That's playing on the key of, to me, this is my B flat. Okay, this is my B flat, and the B flat is also your A sharp. Okay, your B flat is also your A sharp. All right, so let me explain that part to you. All right, so we know we have the A, we have A sharp. Look at my finger. We have the A. Let's say this is the A. Let's say this is the A sharp. All right, A sharp, then B. Okay, so A sharp, B. Your A sharp, the note before your A sharp is your B flat. That means your A sharp is still known as your B flat. Do you get it? A sharp, then B. The note before your B is your A sharp. Your A sharp is still known as your B flat. So if someone tells you, okay, I'm playing on B flat, it's still the same as A sharp. All right. So let's say, for example, you have the C sharp, and then we have the D. Okay, so if someone tells you I'm playing on a D flat, that means the person is playing on C sharp. Do you get it? So to identify your sharp in a note, in a theory note, it's identified with a sharp, like an hashtag. It's identified with an hashtag, and your flat is identified with 0, B, 0 at the top, and then A sharp will be identified with your A and hashtag at the top, just like raised to power 2 raised to power. So it will be like A raised to power hash. So if it's a B flat, it's going to be B raised to power small 0. All right. So I hope you understand that. So we have our chromatic scale. So I will be playing the chromatic scale on the key of C. All right. This is my key of C. All right. So your own first dot, depending on the kind of guitar you're using, your own first dot, as a beginner, like I said, you have to tune your bass E, A, D, G. I will explain how you can tune your bass later in another video. So this is my key of C, not to get you confused. All right. So let's get started. I want to play the chromatic scale. Okay, let me play it on one note. Okay, so let's go. All right. So before I explain what I played, I will actually love to explain this to you, and that's what we call a semitone and a full tone. All right. So what's your semitone? Your semitone is, for example, let's say I'm playing on the key of C. All right. So the next key is a semitone. All right. I'm playing on the key of C. The next one is a semitone movement. All right. If I'm playing on the key of C, if I omit this next one and move to the next one, that's a full tone. So that means from C to D is a full note. From C to C sharp is a semitone movement. All right. Why I'm explaining this to you is because we are going to apply this to while playing our chromatic scale. So basically, I just want to know that we are using a semitone movement all through in our chromatic scale. All right. So we have the do, di, re, mo, mi, fa, fi, so, si, la, do, ti, do. Don't mind my voice though, so you just have to manage. So do, ti, do, la, si, so, fi, fa, mi, mo, re, di, do. So no, it's everything I played is a semitone movement. So let me play using one finger. Do, di, re, mo, mi, fa, fi, so, si, la, do, ti, do. So, but let me also explain this to you, okay? The other time I was talking about the fret marker, okay? I want you to know that if your open string is E, Okay, let's say you're using the 4 strings, you're going to, I'm using the 6 strings now. So for 4 strings basically, yeah, this is your 4th string, the next one after the fat one. Only if you're using 5 strings, this will be your first, the last one on your bass. So this next one here, the one here, the one you can see here is actually on your own professional way of tuning it. It's going to be on the key of E. The open string will be on E. All right. For me, it's not E. Okay. For me, it's another key, basically to some reasons. So on your own, it's going to be a key of E. What I want to explain to you now is there's something we call an octave. Okay. We have lower octave. We have higher octaves. All right. So I can definitely play from my open string. I'm not playing anything. I'm not holding anything. Just playing the open strings. Look at where the 2 dots is here. There's a 2 dots on, in some guitars you see the 2 dots here too. Okay, so this one is identifying it with something else, but on your guitar it can actually be like a 2 dots. So if I play the open string here, that means the next octave is this. Okay, if I play my open string here, I have the next octave here. If I play the open string here, I have the next octave here, lighter octave. If I play it here, it's lighter. If I play it down, it's lower. Okay, so I can actually play octave in different ways. Okay, like, so I have the higher octave, lower, and even more lower. So that's what we call octave. Still on the same notes. Do 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 do. That's an octave. So moving from different do 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 do. So that's an octave. I'm still playing. I'm playing the same notes. I'm playing the same note, just that I'm playing it on different octave. Right. So that's what we mean by an octave. So I want you to identify that when you have your open string here, okay, the next octave will be on your 2 dots. The fret marker. Check your fret marker. You see the 2 dots. It will be on the 2 dots. So your next one will be on your 2 dots. So same applies to everything. So looking at this first dot, this fret marker here, if you have your do here, that means the next one after your 2 dots, the next one will be your next octave. So that means I'm playing I'm playing on the key of B flat. For me, it will be C for you. Do, 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 do. That's different octaves. All right. So same applies to this. Do, 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 do. Okay. So I just need to explain that to you so that you can understand what octave means when I talk about octave. All right. So moving down to our chromatic scale, we have the chromatic scale. All right. So we have something like do, di, re, mo, mi, fa, fi, so, si, la, do, ti, do. So what I play is do, di, re, mo, mi, fa, fi, so. Sorry, I'm too fast. Do, di, re, mo, mi, fa, fi, so, si, la, do, ti, do. That means I played semitone all through. Semitone all through. So you as a beginner, let's start with just one string first. All right. So we start with do. Start with your index. The next one is your middle, D, then your ring, re, Then we have your pinky, which is your mo. Then you move down back with your index, sorry, mi. Then your the same thing, fa, fi, so with my pinky, so. Then back to my index, Z, La, Ta, Ti, then Ti, Do. I just played Ti, Ti, Do. Okay, Ti, Do. Then the same thing applies to Do, Ti, Do, La, Do, Ti, Do, La, Z, So, Z. Starting with my pinky, just the same way I played it here. Do, Ti, Do, La. Then I move back to my pinky. Z, So, Fi, Fa. Then Mi, Mo, Re, Di, Do. Alright, so that's basically your chromatic scale. And when you're plucking, don't forget that you pluck with your index and middle finger. Your index and middle finger, your thumb on your string or on the pickup, either ways, and you pluck with your index and middle finger, index and middle finger, index and middle finger, index and middle finger. Alright, so in my next video I'll be teaching you how you can play your major scale, your minor, and probably some skills. I'll be teaching you the fingering, how you need to place your fingers while playing. Alright, so, and I'll also teach you how you can play your chromatic scale not just on one string. Alright, basically, because this is a beginner class, I need to explain first on one string. Then the next class I will explain how you can play not just on one string. So before we get into the next class, I would actually love to give you an assignment. Okay, so and the assignment is that from your one string while playing your chromatic scale, then try to play your major scale, which is the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, from that same chromatic scale. All you need to do is just to remove some notes from it. So from the do, di, re, mo, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, to, ti, do, remove your major scale, which is your do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So I hope you enjoyed the class, and I'm sure you've really learned something today. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Thank you for joining the class. See you on the next one.